The humans' love for domesticating animals is well documented. They have done so with sheep to give them wool, with cattle to give them meat or milk, with chickens to give them eggs, just to name a few. These are typically considered prey species. However, humans have also domesticated predator species. One of the most well-known of these is the canine. This is an altogether different relationship. These canines would help them hunt, help watch over their families, help herd the prey species. They were fearsome creatures of wiry muscle, thick fur, sharp teeth, and sharper intellect. As the centuries rolled on into millennia, the canines slowly changed. Some of them continued to work alongside humans in the fields, some of them continued to guard families, but some of them developed a new talent. They learned to sense when their humans were unwell. The humans learned this and were ecstatic. Their companions could sense episodes of illness, often well before the humans did. What a marvel! They developed methods of training the canines with these abilities, to alert them to these moments, to help them prepare. Many of those who suffered from various disorders experienced a leap in their quality of life. Their wonderful companions could alert them before an episode began, could bring them vital medicine, could make sure they were safely laid down so as to avoid injury, could alert those nearby if their human needed assistance, could detect dangerous conditions far before it became evident to a human. When humanity took to space, there was no question of if they would bring their beloved, brilliant companions, only how it could be done. Which brings us to today. Sarah was walking to the cafeteria, Sam faithfully trotting beside her. Sarah has suffered from a blood pressure disorder ever since her teens. While her doctors had done their best to treat it, she still suffered occasional episodes. Sam was the solution for her. He had been by her side for the last 7 years, alert and helpful, rarely if ever wrong. She had worried when they boarded the spacecraft that the change might be disorienting for him, but she shouldn't have. Sam had taken it in stride. Apart from a few funny reactions to Xenos he hadn't seen before, off duty, of course, Sam was a consummate professional. When she and Sam entered the cafeteria, a few hands raised, claws clicked, and tentacles swirled in greeting, which she returned. Once she'd gotten her lunch and sat down, Sam laid by her legs beneath the table. She has just started on her mac and cheese, her favourite, when she felt Sam move, followed a firm nudge to her thigh. Sighing, she took out her monitor, wrapped it around her wrist, and Sam nudged her again, checked the results. Huh. Her levels were typical. Sam had never alerted unless her levels were at least close to. Sam nudged her more insistently, being in a dangerous zone. She looked down at her close companion with concern. Was he unwell? When she realized he wasn't looking at her. Whenever she had an episode, he had stayed locked on to her until he was sure she was alright. Which is what he was doing with Helenzi. He was on full alert, eyes swiveled towards the Xeno, eyes scanning them, only looking away long enough to nudge Sarah's leg. He was alerting her about them. Concerned, she walked over to them. Did their tendrils always look this limp? And she was pretty sure their frill looked a shade pale. "Hello, Helenzi," she greeted. "Are you—" Sam nudged her. "Are you well?" Helenzi looked up, slowly. "Greetings, Sarah. I am feeling—" They swayed, and Sam nudged Sarah so hard she thought she might bruise. She ran to them and laid one hand on each of their sides. "We're going to medbay," she decided. "That might be best," they agreed. Sarah shouted for her co-workers to get a stretcher, and soon she, Sam, and the co-workers who had helped push the stretcher to medbay were all sitting in the hall, waiting to hear from the medical staff. After a while, the doors opened, and one of the nurses smiled at them. "They're going to be okay," he stated. Sarah sighed in relief. "And they'd like to see you for a moment, Sarah," he added. She waved goodbye to the others, who looked considerably less tense than before, and she and Sam followed the nurse inside. "I'm shocked you knew they were unwell, honestly," the nurse noted. "Most beings wouldn't notice the signs before Halenzi would have collapsed." "I didn't," Sarah admitted. "Sam did." "Oh, well, it's a good thing you listened to him, then." He opened the door to a room. "Just a few minutes. They need to rest." She nodded her understanding and walked over to Halenzi's bed. "Hey, how are you feeling?" "Well, I believe the human phrase would be 'I've been better,'" they noted, with a twitch of their frill indicating humor. "But it would have been worse without your intervening. Thank you." "No problem. This good boy is the one who noticed." She smiled at Sam. "Ah, I'll get him a good treat once I'm out of here then. I'm sure he'd like that. Anything you need?" "Well," they said thoughtfully, "I think I might need a dog." Sarah smiled. "I've got some recommendations then."